is not feeling the love this morning. He cannot feel the love. He resigned as National Security Advisor 3 weeks after the Justice Department warned the White House that he could be vulnerable to blackmail for talking about sanctions with a Russian ambassador. 3 weeks ago, they said, get him out of there. Nobody listened. But here's...
They fired her.
Well, but after 3 weeks...
Yes.
They fired her.
Yeah.
The person who said, don't do this.
Right.
But here's what, you know, he said about it on Friday. And
He
what,
who shall be nameless.
Yeah. And what Kellyanne Conway said just yesterday. Take a look.
Mr. President, what do you make of reports that General Flynn had conversations with the Russians about sanctions before you were sworn in?
I don't know about it. I haven't seen it.
General Flynn does enjoy the full confidence of the president, and this is a big week for General Flynn.
Yeah, it's a big week.
So this morning, Kellyanne was all over the place claiming she's not sure when, you know, the guy was notified of this conflict. And right before we went on air, he tweeted, the real story here is, why are there so many illegal leaks coming out of Washington? Will these leaks be happening as I deal on North Dakota? Yeah. I just was being for North Korea. I mean, is he dodging the real question here? I mean,
of course, yeah.
I mean, remember, this guy is the same guy that started the chant "Lock her up."
That's right.
And
Michael
this,
Flynn?
yeah,
Yes.
Michael Flynn started this.
And he said that Hillary is a national security threat.
Yes, and he also
Now he is.
And Obama fired him.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting to me. Obama fired him because he was insubordinate, because he failed to follow guidance of his superiors. And so they were on notice that this guy was rogue, that this guy didn't follow, you know, protocol. And so why would you put him in charge of national security?
Because he's in bed with the Russians, just like Donald Trump is.
First of all,
Has to be. Yeah, has to be.
Insubordination is really rare in the military because it's all based on rank and file. But one thing he used as an excuse was he used, quote, the fast pace of events. That's why he might have forgotten things. This is someone that's been in war zones.
To tell people about.
Flynn said that the fast pace of events was why he maybe left out the sanctions conversation with Russia.
Yeah.
So here's a military. I mean, he's in war zones. Like, fast pace is not a good excuse for you. Maybe you weren't fit for the original job.
The shot you just showed about Donald saying, well, I don't know anything about it. I thought he knew more than the generals. He knows everything else. Suddenly, geez, what could it be?
There's no way. There's no way that he didn't know about it, because it wasn't just Gates that warned. It was James Clapper. It was John Brennan. You're talking about Director of National Intelligence, CIA Director. Everyone went and said, look, this could potentially compromise our national security because this guy may potentially get bribed. And then what happens? Now, Kellyanne Conway has a responsibility to be informed. This is falling on the heels of her having that huge controversy, promoting Ivanka's line. Now she's out there talking about, well, I didn't know. No, it's your job to know, and it's Donald Trump's job to know. If there is someone in your administration that could potentially jeopardize our national security, that becomes our problem, and it's your job to protect it.
They must have known. So you're saying they knew. So if they knew, then Flynn is just the fall guy.
No. When you don't vet your people correctly, when you put them in to piss people off, and you know, President Bannon did that. President Bannon, you know, because he's been trying to get him out of there for a long time, and supposedly President Bannon said, you know, here's your walking papers, get out. Because when you're not, if you were the president, you wouldn't know what was going on. Because this is your pick. But since these are not his picks, these are people picked for him by President Bannon.
So you think President Bannon knew?
Oh, hell yeah, he knew.
So the question then really remains, did the Russians hand the presidency to Donald Trump?
Yes!
Well, that's the other question.
So I say it again, I've said it before, do it over again. Just do the whole election over. It's not a fair election. It was not correct. Let's do it again.
The other issue is, what was that conversation? If he was speaking about sanctions, those sanctions were imposed because President Obama was saying there are consequences if you're meddling in our elections. So what was that conversation between Flynn and the ambassador involving our election?
Don't worry about the sanctions.
That's very, very alarming.
That's what it was. That's what it was. He said,
Pence didn't know. They threw him under the bus because he was out there defending Flynn. It's horrible all around.
I think I believe they're all complicit.
Yes, I don't think Mike Pence is complicit.
I believe.
Well, I don't.
Because when you are being told, when you're the vice president, and you see that this person is not a smart choice, when you see he's in subordination to the president, you can't sanction that.
Yeah.
So he went along with it. And I say this to all those Republicans, this is all on you guys.
That's
because
right.
you rushing all these people through, you don't care, it's going to come back and bite y'all.
Well, they don't care because while all this is going on, Paul Ryan and the rest of them are slipping through their reactionary agenda to overturn Obamacare, to sneak their little 2 cents into Medicare, to get rid of all of this, the safety nets, and environmental controls, all the things that they want to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could create jobs tomorrow if they just had an infrastructure bill. Just
I disagree that Republicans don't care. I think a lot of Republicans care very deeply about what he's doing.
Well, then why don't they open their mouth?
Mike Pence is out there in full shame right now, saying you had a responsibility.
He knew better. He knew better. Listen, he knew better, and all of them knew. They all said, no, we're not going to go along with this, and then they all came.
And why aren't we hearing any of the Republicans coming out and saying this is wrong?
They're all taking their wives for a brunch for Valentine's Day. We'll be right back.